live. There's a little bit of a delay on some of the platforms. So welcome to day two of the March 5-day listing appointment challenge. The March 5-day listing appointment challenge. I'm excited to dive into day two. I'm hoping I figured out our technical difficulties from day one so that we don't have those. And as always, because of things like yesterday, I'm a little paranoid and want to make sure that it is working. It does look like it's working and we are actually live. And so let me turn that down. That way I can monitor the Q&A. So do me a huge favor. Wherever you're watching this, smash the like button and comment below with "I'm ready for day two" or "let's go." I'm ready or let's go. And if you're watching this outside of our challenge group, I want to strongly encourage you to register for the challenge. There should be a link in the description, freelistingschallenge.com, so that you can participate in the assignments, because each day of the challenge, there is a homework assignment. And to be eligible for the prizes that we're giving away each day, you have to post your homework assignment in the challenge group. Now, there are other reasons why I would recommend you register regardless, but that alone means that you can have the opportunity to participate in our giveaway. So Jeffrey and Michael and Laura and Sharon and Heather and Cheryl and Dana and Joel, good stuff. Thank you for chiming in. Keep those comments coming. Keep smashing that like button. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you subscribe and ding the bell as well. So here's the plan for today. I want to start off by sharing takeaways and or wins from day one, or you know what? Anything in general that's been a win or something you're grateful for in the last 2 days. And I'm going to kickstart it in a minute. But I want to give you some time. Let me know in the comments one takeaway or one win, or just something positive from the last 24 hours, let's say. And I want to share that and get this party started on the right foot. Now, I would have liked to have seen more people complete homework assignment number one and post in the group. But after we take care of some of the initial housekeeping items, I'll announce who our first winner is, the winner of the first prize from the day one homework. But let me know, what was your takeaway, or what was a win that you've gotten recently? So I want to share some wins. And this is kind of doing a little bit of a radio tease, as they call it. So I have been doubling down on for sale by owners. And, despite the fact that there aren't a ton available right now, and for those of you who don't know, I'm in a smaller market. I'm not in a major market. The county I live in has about 220,000 people. My whole metro area, less than 1 million. And by metro, I mean like a big geographic area. But I have just since a week ago today, since last Tuesday, a week ago today, I've had 2 appointments with for sale by owners. I've listed one of them. I'm in conversation with the other one. I've also now have 4 more for sale by owner appointments scheduled for later this week. 1 tomorrow morning, and then I think 3 on Friday, maybe 4 on Friday, something like that. And the radio tease part of that is tomorrow is for sale by owners, and I'll walk you through exactly how I'm getting these appointments. And by the way, I haven't called a single one of them. I'm getting these appointments all through texting, which is another little teaser. For those of you who've been following me for a while, you probably know that today is Texting Tuesday. And in fact, we didn't have our normal Texting Tuesday session in the 0 to 100 in real estate group this morning in lieu of this session. I encouraged everyone in that group to come join us for this. Keep the feedback coming, the takeaways coming. This is great stuff. I'm going to dig into it today. So I'm grateful for the opportunities that are coming from for sale by owners. I'm going to share that process tomorrow. And not only the script, but also the actual exact text back and forth from it's like now 5 or 6 that I've gotten appointments with just in the last week here. So really good stuff. I'm really grateful for that. As I said, I had one go live. I put it in as coming soon today. And it'll actively hit this weekend. I'm sorry, it'll be made active tomorrow morning. And then we're using what we call the Home Boss selling system to get this property sold. And if you want to check that out, you can go to zerocommissionclass.com, zerocommissionclass.com. It's a platform and a system we've built out so that we can make a very unique selling proposition to get the attention of sellers, for sale by owners being one of those categories, and virtually guarantee that we can sell their property at the very highest price possible. Anyway, you can check that out at zerocommissionclass.com. So good stuff happening here. I'm going to share some of your takeaways because I always think this is great. Sharon says, I learned that posting on social media is simple. Yeah. Isn't it funny how there are so many things that we make out to be harder than they actually are? And if you just do it, you realize in that action, in the doing, how silly it was, or how our brain was getting in the way of that. My son, it doesn't happen as much often, but my oldest son would often ask me when he was younger how to do something. And my answer always was, or almost always was, the best way to figure out how to do something is to do it, right? You got to get the thing going, right? You got to take action. And in the taking action, you will figure out how to do it. Jeffrey, I woke up on the grassy side of the dirt this morning. The rest is up to me. I like that. That's a good, a real good attitude, Jeffrey. Joel did his, but forgot to post. Well, Joel, get it posted in here. We want to see it. Jeffrey picked up 2 new buyers and talking to a person listing and purchasing. Cha-ching. Different Jeffrey. Let's see here. Jeffrey says the state of Georgia has 30 days on market for the whole state. Yeah, that's great. Joel, you gave me a great tool for helping my buyer client and therefore added value. Right on. Absolutely. Sharing great info. Cheryl says getting some engagement from the post from yesterday's class. Yeah, so I haven't, full transparency. So the post that I made, I haven't gotten any actual listing opportunities yet, but I posted it and shared it into just one group. And you should have seen, I meant to actually, I ran out of time. I was going to take a screenshot because for some reason I couldn't bring it up on my desktop, but on my phone, I could bring it up and there was tons of activity. Sharon says, so grateful I joined this group. Michael says, I missed yesterday, but did watch the replay, part 1. Didn't know there was a part 2. Haven't posted yet. Naseem, I got 167 post engagement within 2 hours of posting. That's pretty good. Roger says, I'm going to get it posted later this afternoon, but I love the simplicity of the posting. I'm generally skeptical of Facebook posting, but found some good groups to try out. Right on. Groups can be really powerful if you're not salesy, right? This is something where you are genuinely trying to offer better service for your client. So you are demonstrating through your action that you're not like every other salesperson, right? Versus you going into groups and saying, who do you know that's thinking about selling their home? Now, there's a time and a place, maybe not a time and a place. There's an audience where you would use that. In fact, we're going to use a more direct offer in part of today's homework that you can leverage. But you don't want to do that in social settings, generally speaking. Roger says, but then your county probably has fewer competitive realtors, so a really great agent like yourself should stand out big time. I appreciate that, but we do have some big players here. We do have, in fact, we have one independent brokerage here. They do 600 or 800 units a year just themselves. So yes, but there's some truth to that. But there's ways you can stand out in every market. and just consistency alone and persistence, that will help you stand out if nothing else. All right, so I want to announce, and I hope she's on today, I want to announce the winner of our day one prize.
Hey, what's up? It's Josh Stanley with Client Alchemist and EXP.
Zip that up there, buddy. And it is Eileen Kelsall. Eileen Kelsall is the winner of the first homework assignment challenge. She was the first one to post her post. And so Eileen, shoot me a reach out on private message. I'm going to give you an option of 3 different prizes. You get to choose 3 different prizes. They range in value from an $85 real world value to $300 real world value. So just let me know, reach out and private message me, and we'll get you your prize. Okay, so who's ready? Smash the like button or the heart button. Who's ready for today's assignment, for today's work? Give me some love, people. Eileen, yes, you are here. Fantastic. Eileen, shoot me a private message. And we'll get you hooked up. All right, so we're getting a couple. Come on, people. Give me some love here. Give me some love so we can get into today's action item. So if you remember from 10 minutes ago, not even 10 minutes ago, 5 minutes ago, I said, that we are, I've kind of coined the phrase, or given Tuesdays the phrase of texting Tuesdays. And so that's what we're going to do today. We're going to use and share with you some text message scripts that you can use. And your assignment is going to be for you to use them to create even more listing opportunities for you. And I'm going to give you a couple of different options and a couple of different use cases for those options. Now, before we do that, please understand that although I'm calling this Texting Tuesday, right, and these are text scripts, they will work great as Facebook Messenger scripts. Some of them could be adapted as a Facebook post, similar to yesterday. In fact, you'll actually see in this document I'm going to pull up here in a minute that one of them is one that we shared as like the second option for yesterday. They will work great as an email if you don't have someone's cell phone, and other applications as well. Okay, so I am going to so this is what I call my seller script vault, and I'm sort of adding to this from time to time. And actually, I need to go back and probably add a few more that that I've been using and testing out. In fact, I'll add one that I tested out this morning. I'll add one to this script that I tested out this morning, and I'll share that one with you as well. And so, but this is something that we have actually charged for, this seller script vault. However, as a way of saying thank you, for anyone, as a way of saying thank you for joining me on the free listings challenge here, I'm going to give all of you this entire script vault, this entire document. We'll add it to the description of this video, but you only will get it if you have registered for the challenge. So if you're watching this outside of the group, make sure you register so you can get into the group and get the full vault, seller script vault here. So the first one that I'm going to share is what I call the reverse psychology script. And I love this one for a number of reasons. Number one, you can use this script with buyer leads. Okay, you can use this script with buyer leads. So any of you, if you have any unconverted buyer leads, then you're going to use this script today. Okay, so there's 2 parts to this. There's the reverse psychology part, and then there's the call to action part. And you can kind of mix and match these things. You can tweak it. Let me also say that when it comes to any of these scripts and little strategies and tactics that I am sharing with you over these 5 days, please understand that the way these are written, they fit the way that I speak and communicate. But feel free to put them in your own words. Now, you don't want to ruin, or I'm sorry, you don't want to, you don't want to completely redo them, because that could ruin the response rate. That's where I was going. My brain was skipping ahead. But what I want you to do here is feel free to tweak them to your own language patterns. Okay, if they don't fit the way you speak, then tweak them to that end. Okay, so the reverse psychology script. I know you're not ready to move right now, but when you are ready, do you have a home you'd need to sell first? Okay, I know you're not ready right now, but and then I really like using this now, LMK. I'm getting hip with the texting. My kids think I'm a dork, which I am. But so I know you're not ready to move right now, but when you are ready, do you have a home you need to sell first? Let me know. Thanks, Josh. And I might even throw on here EXP Realty. Okay. Another variation of this, I think I have it down here. I know you're not ready to move right now, but when you do make a move, will you be trading up or would you be downsizing? Or I heard someone else, a popular term these days has become right sizing. Okay. I know you're not ready to move right now, but when you do make a move, will you be trading up or would you be downsizing? Okay. So there's a script you can use with buyer leads. That what that does is it gets your sellers in disguise to take off their costume, right? To take off their mask, and helps you discover, okay, who might also be sellers. And this works like gangbusters. Okay, this works like gangbusters. So I'm going to share a couple of these different scripts, and then I'm going to actually use them, and then we'll open it up to Q&A. And here's what I know about what I've seen so far, and what I would challenge some of you to do is you might actually use one of these right while we're live, and who knows, you may even get a listing appointment while we're here, like while we're still live on the session. Okay, so actually do this stuff. Actually use these things. Here are a couple of other scripts. Now, I think these two in particular, or these three, and you can pick a variation, will work great with your existing sphere of influence and or past clients. Okay, so I'm going to share these scripts, and then I'm going to give you the minimum homework assignment, which some of you are probably already working toward that. I'm going to share these scripts, and then I'm going to give you, are we losing the feed? It seems like it's okay. Hopefully it's okay. I'm going to share these, then I'll give you the homework assignment, and then we'll go for some Q&A, okay? So these here, you could, I would personally, you could take out your phone and personally message this to people in your sphere or past clients, or if you have them in some sort of CRM, KV Core, Lion Desk, Follow Up Boss, Sierra Interactive, Realty Juggler. I mean, whatever you put, I would love to hear, actually, comment below, Engage CRM, comment below with what CRM you're using right now. Let me know. Comment below with what CRM you currently use. Okay. So you can use one or more of these variations. And this is one that would also work great as a Facebook message. You could send this as a private message on Facebook. Okay. So for example, with everything that's happened and is still happening with COVID, just curious, are you living in your dream home right now? Or you could say ideal. I wouldn't actually put dream or ideal. I'm just giving you options for how you can change around the wording to fit your personality. Okay. With everything that's going on in the world right now, just curious, are you living in your dream home right now? Okay. Or this one, I like this one. With everything that's going on in the world right now, have you had any thoughts of selling in 2021? Here's another variation. Just curious. With everything that's happened over the last year, have you had any thoughts of selling this year? Okay, so you can see we've got several variations here, and you can kind of mix and match for what fits your personality and suits the way you like to word things. Okay. So we've got a script that you can use with buyers. In fact, I'm going to put this one. Put this up with this one because that that kind of is another variation of that. Then we've got scripts we can use here with sphere of influence or past clients, which, by the way, I mean, you could also use this script with your entire database. You could literally send that to your entire database. Here's one, another variation, okay, that would work great to your sphere of influence or your database. Inventory is historically low right now. Have you heard anyone in the neighborhood or in your neighborhood talking about selling? Or another variation, inventory is historically low right now. Who do you know that's thinking about selling? These would work great to seller leads, okay? For sale by owner, expired, maybe you purchase, so home value leads, or you have in the past, maybe you're buying Z-Buyer, different types of motivated seller leads. And you could use one of these scripts. And in fact, as I promised, I'll share with you a script that I used this morning with some motivated seller leads to re-engage them. And we've got several appointments now scheduled with them and several more active conversations going with them. This is one we shared yesterday. This is a different variation that you could use. Homes in Central PA are selling fast and for record amounts right now. Please finish this sentence. If I could get X amount, I'd move. And here are a couple of other options as well. So as I promised, I will share this entire document with you as a way of saying thanks for participating in in the challenge. Okay, but here's your homework, and then I'm gonna give you the homework. Then I'm gonna share some actual real world examples of these scripts in action. I may even use one of them right here and now, and then we'll open it up for Q&A. Before we do, it looks like Market Leader, Command, KV Core, Command, KV Core, Moxie Engage, and Spider Media. Roger is using Moxie Engage. Okay, good stuff. Thanks for sharing on that. Okay, so your homework is this. All of you can do this. You send one of these scripts, just one of these scripts, to at least 10 different contacts, whether they're your sphere of influence, past clients, whatever. Okay, this should be a piece of cake because all of you have some buyer leads that you could send this script to. All of you have contacts in your phone that you could send, one of these scripts to. All of you have, most of you probably have, some seller leads, some home value leads that you could send this script to, right? You have their address and you could send that script. Okay. So a minimum of 10. Now for you overachievers, you're going to send this message or something similar to that to your entire buyer database. If you can segment out your buyer database, and then you're going to send this script to your entire sphere of influence. Okay. And then you're going to send this script to your entire seller database. And then tomorrow we're going to unpack for sale by owners, which is going to be a lot of fun. So what you need to do is a minimum of 10. You need to screenshot and post in the group as a separate post in the group, hashtag day2HW, hashtag day2HW. It looks like Jeffrey, yes, if you're in the Real Script Vault, you would have this document. Now that it has a bunch more, a whole bunch more in there. This is just one of the documents that is kind of a bonus in there. And it looks like Heather is using Brivity. So let me show you. I'll bring up here. I primarily use KV Core. Because I play in Tinker, I also use Follow Up Boss for some things. I'm not recommending that. It's just it's the technology marketing guy in me. So we said it. We sent this message to yep. We sent this message to some Z buyer seller leads. Z buyer seller leads, which is just curious, would you consider a cash offer on your property at, and this one didn't pull in the data right, so it says at question mark. Let me know. Thanks, Josh. We got a ton of response. Now, only a few appointments so far, but more active conversations going on, and it will probably turn into more, and I'll have an update for you tomorrow. Okay. But let's take one of these scripts. Let's take one of these scripts. In fact, I'm going to mix and match. So I'm going to go in here. And I'm going to just pick out, I'm going to pick a segment of my database here. And we're going to send, we'll probably end up sending a couple of hundred. Actually, we'll use hashtags. We'll probably end up sending a couple hundred messages. Okay, so how many we got here? 383. So I'm going to go. We're going to do 100 at a time. So I'm going to select here, and I'm going to take some of these best practices, and I'm just going to freeform it. Hey, just curious, with everything that's happened over the last year, are you? I'm going to cheat a little bit. Are you living? No, you know what? Let me see here. I'm going to. Just curious. You know what? I'm gonna. Okay. I'm gonna say. Just curious. Are you living in No. Thanks. Gosh. Okay, so hey, first name. With everything that's happened over the last year, just curious, are you living in your ideal home right now? I'm going to change that to right now. Copy that, and we're going to let that rip. Joanne, Z Buyer is just a lead vendor, and they have they have seller leads that they provide. If you're interested, I can give you my contact there. You can get, I think you get 10 free extra. You get 10 days of free leads if you use my contact, Eva, and you mention my name. For those, if you're interested, you can comment below, or easier, so I don't lose track of it, shoot me a private message. I've got some great contacts at all of the different seller lead vendors, and happy to chat with anyone that is curious, but send me a private message if you're interested. Okay, so I sent out 100 there. I should have done a quick look down here. To make sure that there's not anyone on here that I should have not sent this to, because sometimes I don't do the best job of segmenting out folks that should be segmented out. Looks like that was okay. So I'm going to go next. Mass text, paste that in. Oh. I'm going to, you know what? I didn't check this list either. So let me check here to make sure there's no one. You know what I'm going to do? Oh, no. I'm just going to let it rip. When in doubt, send it out. That one I was actually talking with earlier. And I'll probably just send, let's see. Okay, we'll send these. Now, who's actually who on here is doing the work already? Who here are the overachievers that they're already sending out the messages and maybe already getting into some conversations, maybe even distracted from this because they're getting into conversations and getting more information and so forth. I'm just gonna send this one and then one more group here. So as a reminder, just going to hit this again. Your homework is at least 10 contacts, at least 10 contacts. All of you can do at least 10 contacts. Okay. For you overachievers, you're going to hit all of your database in one form or another. Oh, and by the way, I didn't mention this, but any of these, I did mention it, but I'll give you real examples. Any of these could also or alternatively be sent as emails, right? So if you don't have their cell phone and you're not going to send it as a text message, you don't get off the hook, right? You can still send it as an email and you will get people to respond. Now, you won't get as many people to respond as you will through text messaging, but you will get folks who respond. And that's, all we're looking for is some kind of response. Almost here. Go back up. Boom. And Nassim working to post on Facebook and Instagram now. Joel said just starting. Jeffrey is doing it right now. I love it. I love it. I love it. We're probably already getting some replies. So while that loads, what would you let me oh, Dan says he is. Well, good. Congrats. Awesome. That's awesome. How would you do these as an email? Well, you got to have a subject line to the email, and I would use something like just curious or quick question, or if you have their first name, you can just put their first name, or question for Josh, question for first name, and send that out. Send that out. Okay. And you can pick any one of these, and we can let it rip. So now what do we do when people start replying? Shyla, of course not. Waiting to see about a job in OKC. If not, we will be looking starting in May. Gotcha. When you do make a move, do you have a home you need to sell, or are you currently renting? Okay. Define ideal. Someone says. I want to hold on for a few months. I don't know if that was from this one or we had done some text blasting earlier, so we're getting some activity from that. But so this person said defined ideal. They are renting. Define ideal. suppose that's up to each individual. If you found your dream or ideal home, would you have a home you'd need to sell first? Notice that I'm then I'm kind of layering on these, these things. Jeffrey said, I just sent out to 193 to buyers and over, to buyers over 120 days. So I think older buyers, I think is what Jeffrey's saying there. And Shyla had said, we are renting. So, all right. So that's your assignment, but we've got some extra time today because technology worked and it wasn't a big pain and we didn't have a bunch of problems. What questions, comments, thoughts, or ideas do you have that you could share with the good of the group? So she said, we are renting and the buying market isn't really there right now. And so, got it. And yes, the buyer market is tough right now. That's why we've come up with a program called the Home Boss VIP Buyer Program. Let me know if you'd like more info. No questions? I guess that was crystal clear. No questions, comments? Come on, people. Otherwise, we can let you get to work and post in your homework. That's certainly not a problem. Never a bad thing. Never a bad thing. So she said sure. So I will send her actually a video explanation of what we do with that. And that is, so take me off. Paula said, no, we're not. So, so let me ask this. How would you respond to Paula here? Let's get some interaction here, and we'll unless we have a bunch of questions pop up, we'll wrap up here in the next 5 to 7 minutes. But how would you respond? So I said, hey Paula, with everything that's happened over the last year, just curious, are you living in your ideal home right now? Let me know, thanks. And she said no. So how would you respond? I have thoughts on how I'm going to respond, but what I know about our group here is we've got some wicked smart people who often amaze me with their with what you come up with as responses to things like this. So how would you respond to Paula? She said no, she's not in her ideal home. Response, I hear that a lot. What would you change about where you live? I love it, Heather. I'm going to use that. Got it. We hear that a lot. I always like to affirm or confirm that I've heard what they've said. So I always like to put got it or thanks or gotcha or right on, things like that kind of indicates like, okay, I'm listening to what you have to say. Got it. We hear that a lot. What would you change about where you, man, oh man. What would you change about where you live now? And by the way, I'm going to, as we have the conversation, I'm going to weave in, do you have a home you'd need to sell first? What would be your ideal home look like? Right on. Tell me what your ideal home looks like. Perfect. Ask questions that spur her imagination and dreams. Roger, Right on. Joanne, I like it as well. Bummer. What would you change? I love it. You guys are, dropping knowledge. Really good stuff. Really good stuff. So we'll take one more look here to see if any more have come through. This thing takes a minute to load when we're live. Sure. So I'm going to reply to, we can take Vicky off. And by the way, when you do this kind of stuff, you're going to have people that do this. Don't let that deter you. Don't let that deter you from reaching out, because here's the reality. They weren't going to buy a house with you anyway, right? If a person asked to be taken off the list, they weren't going to buy a house or sell a house with you anyway. So, don't let that deter you from taking action. Don't let that deter you from taking action. Okay. Looks like we have no more questions. So we're going to come in for a landing here. So again, to confirm, your homework for day 2 here is to send one or more of those scripts to at least 10 contacts. And some of you have already done the work. All you then need to do is take a screenshot, and post it in the group with hashtag day2HW, hashtag day2HW. Jeffrey also had 2 already that weren't interested, which is a fine and easy way to clean out the database. 100% yes, right? You're doing spring cleaning before it's even spring, right, of your database. So post your homework. Eileen, reach out so we can get your prize, and then we will pick a new prize winner tomorrow. And tomorrow I'm going to show you the simple scripting process that I'm using to get appointments with for sale by owners. I've gotten either 5 or 6 appointments since last Tuesday. So in a week's time, I've already listed one as of this morning. I'm potentially working with another one. And then the others, I haven't had the appointment yet. So we'll see. But, I'll take whatever comes my way for sure. Michael, thank you for that. I can't attach the screenshot here. Yeah, Nassim, you're not going to. So to be clear, let me share my screen again. You're not going to post your screenshot as a comment. You're going to make a separate post in the group here. You're going to create a post. Okay. You're going to post a photo. I don't know what this is. You're going to post a photo, and you're just going to go hashtag day2HW. Okay. All right. Thanks, everybody. If you have any questions, if there's anything at all I can do to help or support you, shoot me a private message, comment below, email, call, text, whatever makes sense, whatever works for you. I'm here to help and support. Tomorrow, we're going to get into for sale by owners. And I've got a special offer for you as well that I will reveal tomorrow in addition to that. And I can't wait to see your results and everybody posting their homework. Thanks so much for spending some time with me. And we'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. And thank you for all the kind words.